Hey everybody, happy Sunday. I hope that wherever you are and whatever you are doing, you are having a fantastic weekend. So the title of today's video is autumn finally here? Is fall finally here? And I think the answer categorically is yes. Look, the chicken coop has got leaves on. There are leaves falling in front of the camera. And it is that time of year when things are starting to fall from the sky. Now, I've been away in Canada for everything electric. I've come back with a bit of a sniffle. I hope it's not COVID. I have tested negative. I've taken like 3 different COVID tests and like an RSV test and also like an influenza test. And I've been negative for all of them. So I'm hoping it's just a common cold. But I'm a bit sniffly. But the garden has been really getting into the spirit of fall. So aside from these fellows, which have decided to obviously just go bonkers and just spread, the pumpkins are looking great. Zucchinis are still looking great. The corn has pretty much given up now. I feel like from a bean standpoint, the corn was a success this year because the corn and the bean coexisted and the beans grew up the corn and we actually had some good corn growth. But from the bean perspective, it was good, but from the corn perspective, not so much. So this is about as good as I've had from the corn and it's nowhere near finished. But as you can see, the beans are just grown up just fine. So next year, I'd like to try and replicate this with a few modifications. I talked about that in last week's show. But also here, you know, this popcorn here, this popping corn has not really done much. So I need to figure out what I did wrong. If in fact I did anything wrong. I think these were just late in the season. They just took a really long time to grow. And I feel like maybe I need to start my corn off even earlier in the year in my greenhouse, maybe give my greenhouse a little bit of extra heat just to help things grow. Maybe start the beans off a little earlier as well and the peas, and then hopefully things will be a little better. My raspberries have pretty much given up for the season. You can see I've got a few raspberries here and there. I did actually have some of my final raspberries this morning, but I need to come in and cut all of these down to ensure that I have healthy growth in the new season. That is normal for this time of year, but as you can see, look, I'm still getting decent raspberries. Extra vitamin C, if I do have a bug, that's going to do good things for me. Another kind of feeling that tells me it's the end of the year and that fall is finally coming. The strawberries have kind of finished. Ashley in here has been like the only hen that's been consistently laying. You can see she's got a cucumber and a zucchini back there that she kind of started and then didn't finish. But my other hens all look terrible in the hen house because they're all molting. And so they've all stopped laying. And so I came back to literally, I think 3 or 4 eggs from the entirety of our time in Canada, which is fine. Our tomatillos, late though they are in the season, are actually growing aplenty right now. So I'm going to have some tomatillos before the end of the year. I also harvested a pepper from down there, which was lovely. My cucumbers are all starting to die off, which is normal at this time of year. So these lemon cucumbers, I'm going to have to come in here and dig them out and pull them out. I think I'm pretty much done with my cucumbers. They will keep growing. But I do really want to come in here and start getting ready for the winter season. I have pickled so many cucumbers so far this season. It's become a bit of a chore, to be honest. And my tomatoes are starting to kind of give up and bunch over on one another, which I need to come in here and start pulling out the dead leaves so I don't bring any disease in. But as you can see, I've still got plenty of tomatoes waiting to ripen. So I need to come in here and I need to cut out all of these tops just to give the lower tomatoes that are waiting to ripen a chance to get some fresh air so that they will then ripen off. As you can see, they are everywhere. And excuse me, they are ripening off as I'm sniffling away. As I said, I don't think I have COVID or anything nasty. I think I do just have a cold. At least, fingers crossed, that's my goal. I have been harvesting so many tomatoes. So my favourites are these cherry tomatoes right at the top here. They're called chocolate cherry, I think they're called. And they're really, really beautiful. We've got some here. They are really, really sweet and really, really tasty when they get going. I have probably about 4 or 5 pounds of tomatoes inside right now, ripening off, that I've already removed. And I need to come in and remove the rest. My zucchinis, my courgettes are doing great. When we came back from Canada, we hadn't actually got any food in the house. So I had a massive marrow. I had a stuffed marrow, and that was really, really good. On the side of the house here, we've still got some tomatoes that are growing outside. These guys are going to need to come in soon. Excuse me. But as you can see, they are starting to ripen off as well. And then it's just really preparations for the winter. The chickens are doing great, other than, not laying. They're molting at a pace. We had our pest control person over yesterday, and apparently everything is going okay with those. You don't have any infestations, which is quite common at this time of year. Very often the mice come in from the fields and the rats come in from the fields. We had no sign of that, so that's good. Unfortunately, my Ford charging station has broken, but I found out today that they're going to send me a replacement unit and replace that. Apparently it's a Siemens problem. The Siemens company is the folks who made that charging station. And everything else really is doing pretty well. We've still got some blackberries. I don't know if we're going to do any more harvesting. A lot of the blackberries here have started to turn. So you can see some of these. That one's okay, but this one not so much. So at this time in the season, we're kind of a little bit past whether we should actually harvest them or not. But one thing I'm really happy about, I'm actually going to come around here so you can see it, is these wonderful roses that I cut back in the middle of the season, kind of beginning of August, because I was worried about, how they'd cope with the winter. They were getting a bit too tall. We've had some fresh growth now, and they're being incredible. They've come right back. I do need to cut this rose down, but the geraniums are going to have to go inside soon. And we've missed it literally in about a week. We missed all of the sunflowers, but all of these seeds need to be harvested as soon as they can be. And the rest of this area here just looks incredible. I am so lucky to have all of these wonderful plants growing. I have one more sunflower that's not even come out yet. It's readying to come out. And we have some basil at the front of our house. I don't know where this basil came from, but this basil has been there and smells amazing. It's definitely basil. I don't remember growing basil, but I'm happy that I have basil in my front plot here. So, hey, it's pretty, it smells nice, and it's something I can cook with, so I'm not going to complain. Anyway, tell me if autumn has finally arrived for you. I know my mum in the UK, she lives in Norfolk. She said that they had a frost towards the end of the week. So have you had your first frost yet? And if so, how did your plants survive? Or is it still really, really warm where you are and you've got like weeks to go before the cold weather? They say that parsnips get sweeter when they've dealt with their first frost. So I'm hoping that my remaining parsnips actually prove that correct, and we have some really sweet parsnips in a couple of weeks' time. Anyway, tell me what's going on in your garden. I'm still eating food from the garden, so I think this is still the most successful year I've had. What's going on in your garden? I'll see you next week. Thank Thanks for joining me today, and if you've got thoughts, make sure you leave them in our Discord chat room, our Patreon page, our YouTube comment section, or you can reach out to us on Mastodon. Thanks to the amazing list of people scrolling by on your screen right now. They are some of the more than 1,500 people who help make this channel possible through Patreon and YouTube, covering our bills, paying our team, and making sure that we can remain 100% independent. If you'd like to join them and see your name listed here, just follow the links below. There are a range of different tiers you can sign up for, from as little as $1 a month, or if you pay yearly, around $10.08 a year. A massive welcome to our newest supporters: Bree Crockford, CAP, Christian Balal, Everything on a Buy Bagel, Pidge Eon, and Brett Chandler. To join the list and get your shout out, become a paid Patreon member for your moment of fame. If you'd like to support us with a one-off donation, you'll find links below for Ko-fi and Bitcoin donations, and we even have a good old-fashioned PO box you can reach us at, the address for which you'll also find below. And if you're in need of some swag, do check out our swag store in the down below. We've got some fantastic content coming right up, so make sure you're subscribed on PeerTube or YouTube, and we'll see you soon. As a reminder, we make new videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you want more, the almighty algorithm thinks you might enjoy this video, but what does it know? We think this one is also well worth a look. See you soon, and as always, keep evolving.